Ready? Play.
That's a forehand that Zverev usually isn't that comfortable hitting, but well, this time he was, and he has 2 match points.
And Zverev is looking to become only the second person in history to beat Nadal in straight sets at Roland Garros. The other being Novak Djokovic in 2015, almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago, in the quarterfinals. This could officially be Rafael Nadal's weakest performance. Inside out forehand, ballooned wide. Rafael Nadal strides to the net. The match is over. Alexander Zverev is into the next round. Unsurprisingly, but Zverev was never going to be the story. It was always going to be about Nadal and what he does next. That was a spirited fight from Rafa. The margin was small, but the margin was there. And Alexander Zverev makes it through 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 in just over 3 hours. Well, Damien.
Yeah, 112 and 4. 112 wins, 4 losses now for Rafa Roland Garros. First time in the first round, but actually, you know, considering he lost to Soderling in the 4th round, like third time he loses to a top 5 player, let's say, at Roland Garros. And, well, it was, as we said, maybe even arguably the toughest draw he could have gotten in the entire field, given Alcaraz, Sinner, and Djokovic all have their question marks, all have their concerns, and Zverev is kind of like the form player alongside Tsitsipas especially. Given that, I think he did give a very fine effort. It was definitely close. Like, it wasn't the blowout I was expecting. It wasn't a 6-3, 6-2, 6-4, or whatever like that. It's still straight sets. Whether it's, you know, whether Rafa deserved a set or not, I mean, could have gotten that in the second set, but I can't say a straight set win for Zverev is also like necessarily misleading or anything. He did have the upper hand in this one, for sure, but if it went 4, maybe even 5, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing either. And yeah, I mean, Nadal deserves quite a lot of credit for this one for sure. It does kind of like keep the hopes alive, I think, in terms of having a competitive level against top players, because the Rome match against Hurkacz was not that. Lehečka in Madrid was kind of not that either, like in how he just got completely overwhelmed. But overall, I think Zverev was like pretty content just playing his comfort zone stuff, unless he actually had to like break Rafa in that game, and then he maybe got out of his shell a few times, and that worked out too. So, I mean, it was a great performance from him too, and I think he'll be delighted to go through in 3 sets, despite it being 3 hours.
Yeah, at least it was 3 hours and not 5 for Zverev. I think with Nadal and the point you made about him sort of being not that far off the top, I mean, we were saying the same thing about Andy Murray for several years, as he insists, for about sort of 2021 onwards.
I know, but we've gotten used to Murray being, let's say, a top 50 player. I don't know if we could even ever get used to Rafa being a top 50-ish player. I don't think the tennis world is ready for it. And I know Murray was for a while up there with the big 3, was a part of the big 4 for a few years for sure. Was the world number 1 in 2016, even at year end. But I don't know. I just feel like it was much easier for the tennis world to adjust, and for Murray as well, to adjust to his level being now, let's say, a middling to level player. This year, probably a bit worse than that. And with Rafa, I just don't know if I ever see it being possible, you know, just that jump. And I think if he was going to reach sort of, you know, achieve results that Murray has had over the last 3 or 4 years, I think he'd retire much earlier than Andy.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm getting to with that is I have doubts that Nadal will produce a level above what he produced today. Yeah, by that logic, I think he knows that he probably won't by that logic, like maybe retiring because he can't compete at the very top. I mean, let's face it, he doesn't seem particularly interested in just showing up and being making up the numbers. Looks like he's being interviewed right now. I don't know what I guess let us know if he says anything interesting. Whether this is sort of a bit more definitive about this being his last match. I would imagine it is. I know he's given us some hope, but I'm still, as I said earlier, I'm not. It's going to take a lot for me to change the.
There was a question as well from Sworn, I think, maybe. Let me check quickly. But I think, do we think that Rafa can get in better physical condition than from here? I don't know. I mean, he is actually very fine physically at the moment. I know this isn't, prime Rafa, but I doubt he's actually like injured or, not feeling too well physically. I think this is kind of like the expected physical condition with where he is with his career. So I think that might be it, kind of, in terms of his full fitness right now. I don't know. But that's just a feeling, of course.
I think this is the best he can hope for, given the age and stage of career he's at and what he's dealt with and sort of the struggles he's had.
The thousands of injuries he's endured as well.
I certainly, I think, but like to go down fighting like that at Roland Garros to a top 4 seed who may well end up being a semi-finalist, finalist, even champion. Obviously, depending on how Zverev does in the rest of the draw, wouldn't be. It's not a bad way to go out. It does mess with the stats a bit, but it's not a bad way to go out.
Oh, I definitely don't think it's a bad way to go out. Yeah, the blowout that I was maybe expecting a little bit more than this would have been, but I think he has a lot to be proud of after his performance for sure. Of course, it stinks. I mean, it's a round 1 loss, which at Roland Garros has never happened to him. And we were talking about his 54-3 set record before this match in Roland Garros round 1s, only dropping sets to legends like John Isner and Daniel Brands. Daniel Brands, by the way, so now 4 sets dropped against Germans. But I don't think he has much to regret here or much to be embarrassed about. Definitely not. It wasn't that sort of performance. He left the court knowing that he did his all, gave his all as usual, but also that he was there with the level. He was not that far off Alexander Zverev today.
No, he wasn't. He really wasn't. If were not for some incredible returning from Zverev in the game when Nadal served for the second set, this match might well still be going on, and it would be 2-1 Zverev. With us kind of hoping for a continuation of the comeback, but it's he'll I guess there's a lot to process right now for everyone involved in this. Probably in particular, one of the men on the screen right now. Okay, so they're saying big percentage chance he won't be back. The body's feeling better, so he can't be sure. And as you said,
I don't know. Isn't 1 year more pushing it a little bit, Because that was not a good send-off in the sense that it's round 1, but it was kind of a good send-off in a way as well, right? A huge match, a really decent performance, really nice level, competing with a top 4 seed. And you also have all the Olympics as well. I don't know. I'm just afraid that if Rafa keeps going and pushes himself for 1 more year, then he's going to come next year and lose to Luciano Darderi in 3 sets in the first round, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. That is just going to be a much worse send-off, basically.
I would have concerns about that too, because a year is a long time to maintain the body for as well. I guess now it's all about the Olympics for Nadal, though. And I think maybe his performance there will play a part.
He's signed up for that Laver Cup, so
he's trying to get Laver Cup as well. Yeah,
Ellie Goulding, I hear, already has bought her tickets as well to wherever it's held. I don't remember, but
Berlin.
Yeah. That would make sense. Rafa has won Hamburg before. It's close to Berlin. He could retire there. I don't know. But yeah, I'm afraid what would happen if he comes back next year. I think especially if he gives another decent showing at the Olympics, maybe that will be the right time to go. But of course, he will be the one to decide, and he will know the best whether he is actually ready for it and whether he still wants to, or whether he just wants to spend time with the family.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. John, you want to come out on any of this?
I mean, I've just finished scribing what he was saying on court. Most of the boxes sort of ticked as you would expect, thanking family, friends, coaches, and kind of just repeating, how he's at. I mean, I think it does depend on the next 3 to 6 months, really. If his performances are like today and they stay at that level or even go up a level, well, then, and he hasn't said goodbye to Australia yet, which is obviously he said in his sort of retirement thing that he suggested he might be retiring this year in the press conference last year. He didn't want to retire in a press conference. I know that. But he also said that he wanted to say goodbye to some of the tournaments which have been held illegally. And he's not had the chance to say goodbye to Indian Wells nor Australia for the reasons that we all know. That doesn't mean I'm here predicting he's going to play those 2 tournaments next year. I think it's obviously, these are kind of obvious things, but it's body dependent, but it is kind of performance dependent. Every time we see a result or a performance like that, I think he's going to keep going because he's going to believe that is still, he can still improve upon that. So, and I think he can. Listen, this is not me here saying that the roof open today means the result would have been different ultimately. But does he win a set with that roof open? Maybe. I mean, nearly won a set with it closed and probably should have done.
Yeah, the roof being open does make a difference. It made that match everything a lot more stodgier. Zverev more difficult to hit through.
Definitely.
But I guess it's one of those unknowns, isn't it? Though Zverev would still be difficult to hit through whichever.
Rafa fans are blaming Iga and Jabeur, was it before? Were they the 2 matches before? Yeah.
Going too quick.
Yeah, Iga calls herself a Rafa fan. Wow. Make that go 3 sets then if you really are a Rafa fan, Iga.
There's only so much you can do there. But
if that was me playing Damien, I'd have made it go, a lot further.
Yeah, but would have Damien have let you?
We'll see. Different match, different conditions with real tennis balls next time. Rafael Nadal, by the way, 14 French Opens, playing on the tour for the best part of 20 years. We've got, tennis royalty in the crowd. The crowd is still sort of there and applauding the hero, as you like, as he departs potentially the French Open for the last time. And Damien and I are here talking about the 6-2, 6-2 match in Red 4 weeks ago.
Holger Rune now has to win 15 French Opens, right? Because he said he can. Well, I don't know if he can equal Rafa or if he can win 15 French Opens, like more than Rafa. But he needs to be he needs to start soon. Let's say that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why people sort of predict this record, because you're going to have to hit the ground running, if not at your first one, probably your second one.
And I guess with Świątek, right, we have that sort of a conversation because, if she was to get to the Grand Slam record of Serena or something like that, she would have to go Rafa at the French. And it's one thing, it seems very easy for her in a way, but then again, you actually need to win, let's say, 14 out of 17. Yeah, and you need to still be active. You need to avoid injuries around the clay season. So it's seemingly easy because right now she's the favorite over the field, but it's just so ridiculous to possibly think that she could achieve this anyway.
You've got to win 5 out of 6 pretty much, over a period. And she's already missed 1 from this group, so she's going to have to win probably 1 or 2.
She's got to win the next 2.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Ben Stiller's been tweeting more today than he has for a long time.
Ben Stiller has always been sitting in Rafa's box over the years, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I didn't put a microphone on for this, but I think we are done.
If there's one match from Rafa's story
where you think that was a missed opportunity? There was a big chance. There
have matches.
2
or 3 in Australian Open. No more. We lose the opportunity in Wimbledon against Djokovic in semi-final.
2018.
Then we lose the opportunity, more important because that was semi-final. We lose the opportunity in Australian Open. In the Australian Open 2014, 2012 and 2017.
Yeah.
In 14 because he has an injury against Wawrinka that before he had never lose against him. Then with Djokovic and Federer, he had breakup in the fifth.
Yeah.
And 40-30 or 30-50. I don't remember well. It was a ball very close, goes up. But this is what happened. There was in Roland Garros 2009. Of course, he I am sure that he won. He will win. He won this tournament when he has no problems in his knee, because at this moment he was the best. He won Australian Open, then he won the tournaments on clay, and he arrived with problems in Roland Garros. For this reason, in my opinion, he lose. But there are others time that maybe he has to lose and he won.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.